Okay, we're back. I think. Probably, maybe. Excellent connection. Connection is excellent. Just gonna FF14, save that. Yep, public. Okay, yeah, we're live, and I still don't see anything on my little YouTube window there. There it is. There's the feed. All right. Now we're back. Welcome back to Heritage Found. You may have noticed I did, in fact, end up changing the color of my jacket. And a couple other things. We're just, I did some side quests off screen, too. Trying to level up Paladin on the side. For dungeons. But that's going to take a while. So, stream, we're going to stick to the MSQ. Here is the disclaimer. I am not a full-time streamer. I know plenty of people have already gotten through this MSQ, but some people haven't. I am going to just play this game at my own pace. So I'm not stopping for, I'm not stopping the MSQ. Just gonna stream as much of it as I can. Just push all the way through, and then I'll go back to normal streaming schedule after that. My current plan, once I get through the the MSQ for Dawntrail, my plan is to go to Monday and Thursday as my stream nights, and then try to have, like, I don't know, normal, or try to have, well, normal life. What is normal? The dumb thing to say. Anyway, that's not the point. Point is, I am gonna be streaming a lot, and then I'm gonna be streaming very little, and trying to accomplish some other stuff once I get through the MSQ. Not very little, but like go back to a regular amount, which is my usual Monday and Thursday night streams is the plan. Might go back to Mega Man, some other stuff that I have been wanting to play. But for right now, my focus is all up in this MSQ, and we are going to play it to completion. That's the plan. So, if you care about spoilers, this is not the place to be. Although I have been dodging spoilers myself lately. So they are out there now. Alright, so this place, Heritage Found, is inside a big old dome where Aaronville's hometown used to be. And we got there through the Vanguard gate, which is right there behind us. So let's get going. It doesn't make sense. That tower, was it always there? No. No, Alize, it wasn't always there. I don't even live here, and I know it wasn't always there. No, definitely not. Nor the wall over there. The material is not something we use in Tural. It's closer to what we saw at the gate to the Golden City, or those mechanical soldiers. Such a massive structure couldn't possibly have been built in so short a time. Sure it could have. They, probably, I don't know. Then I'm inclined to assume we've been transported to another location. Or perhaps Well, speculation will avail us not. We need to learn more before we can draw conclusions. Let's take a look around then. I'm telling you, Yasalani got combined with some of these electro places. We're in a little interdimensional bubble. Hmm. 400 yalms to the northwest. 400 something yalms to the northwest. That's gonna take a while to get to. What the heck is that? That's an axe beak? No. That's not what axe beaks look like. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure we already have axe beaks in Eorzea. That looks like a train station, doesn't it? That must be Yaslani Station, where the passengers disembarked. Then perhaps we'll find someone to talk to there. Let's go and investigate. This is definitely giving me, I mean, I said last stream that this was like a Star Fox level right here. Katina, right? I think it's called Katina. Anyway, this is kind of giving me Azus Law vibes. I'm pretty sure this is Yasalani Station, but from the state of it, I'd swear it was abandoned years ago. I'm not sure what to make of this. We should look around a bit more. That's the plan. It does look abandoned. Thunder is not associated with time, is it? I forget which one is the time guy. I think time is associated with water, right? The 12. That's what I want to know. Halone is associated with ice and war. Mover of glaciers, goddess of war, commands ice and is tied to the first astral moon. Menfina, the lover, keeper of the once twin and now lone moons, and the goddess of love, commands the element of ice, and is associated with the first umbral moon. She is depicted as a maid carrying around skillet. Her symbol is a skillet? Huh. Her symbol is the full greater moon. Yeah, Menfina is the younger sister of Azema, and the divine lover of Oshan. Menfina was created from the and then her wolf is in the boss fight is Dalamud. Nymea, the spinner, is a goddess of fate and is associated with water, but she's not time. No, Bayergat and Ralger are associated with the heaven of thunder. There we go. Althik the Keeper, the surveyor of change and the god of space and time, commands the element of earth and is associated with the sixth umbral moon. So, the reason I'm wondering about this is because anytime we've encountered a shard with an etheric imbalance, right? Something weird has happened. The 13th shard is a shard consumed by darkness, and because of that, no one can actually die. Their aether gets consumed by other things, but their aether is still theirs unless it gets consumed. And so if that thing gets destroyed, like, it's weird. Basically, you can't die. You can just get amalgamated into other people until those people die, and then you can sometimes come back because your aether is just always around. You become parts of other people, and then you can, yeah. And then in the first, the light was too strong, which caused people's aether to stagnate, I think, is the problem. Aside from turning people into sin eaters, I'm not entirely sure what that does when they're overcome by light. And there's that aether current. I'll go grab it. So, let's see. Where's the ethereal wheel? Nope. Not the ethereal wheel, the etheric wheel, yes. So, let's do this. Gonna save this, then we're gonna put the aether wheel poster up. There we go. So, whoops, let's put that back, whatever that was. Image, there we go, drag this down. Alright, so, quick lesson. This is ice, This is thunder. This is water. This is earth. This is fire. This is wind. Now, there are, and then there's, of course, light and dark. I think these letters might actually be backwards. Doesn't matter. So these elements are astral, and then these are umbral, right? So wind, fire, and ice are astral elements, and then lightning, stone, or lightning, earth, and water are umbral elements. Is I believe how this is set up. You know, I'm not actually sure. Because when it was just light and darkness, it was so simple. Because you know, it's either astral or umbral, right? It's either light or dark. But here we have triangles. So does lightning oppose ice then, and not stone? Does stone oppose wind? I think that's how this works. So does that mean a plane overcome by lightning aether doesn't have any ice? What does not having ice ether mean? Does it just not get cold here? That wouldn't make sense. Okay, well, also lightning is also on the same. Lightning and earth are both umbral, which means lightning I don't think opposes time, or doesn't oppose Althic, right? Because Althic is earth, and he is the associated with time. All right, so my theory is gone. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Finished poking around, have you? Let's gather everyone then. I want you all to take a look at this. Okay, so what the heck is going on here? The mark on its face is different. It's one of the mechanical soldiers, long since broken apparently. But I'd say its presence confirms this is indeed Zeralja's domain we're in. What about the rest of you? Did you learn anything? Everything looks worn, as if it's been years. So all evidence suggests this is Yasalani Station. Aye, and they've no doubt we're in Yasalani. But I don't understand why these buildings are so run down. Lightning isn't associated with time. How could we have traveled through time? And they were completed barely a year ago. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is this the future? For new structures to deteriorate and enormous ones to appear in a flash, if I didn't know any better, I'd say time flows differently here. They have in other shards. Is such a thing even possible? Yeah. We have encountered the phenomenon before, as it so happens. Though it may be difficult to leave, our world is but one of several. In some respects they are similar to one another, but in others wholly different. We call them reflections. Simply put, the rift between dimensions causes time to flow at a different pace in each world. While hours pass in one, years may have come and gone in another. But if this is Yasalani, then we should still be in the source. The flow of time should be synchronized. I'm not sure I follow all this talk of reflections and dimensions. But if Arenville says this is Yasalani, then it must be. Your village is a little further along, right? Arenville! Oh, yes. It's a short distance to the northwest. Let's head there next, then. Rather than talk theory, it's always better to confirm things firsthand. It's fair. May I be of assistance? It's still functioning? It doesn't seem to be hostile, at least. Perhaps we can we can ask it some questions. Can you tell us where we are? Unable to confirm credentials. Bzz. Please present citizen identification. Unable to confirm credentials. Confirm. Bzz. Confirm. Bzz. Confirm. Bzz. Seems it's broken after all. Too strange by half. Let's leave it and be. Let's leave it be and get going. Are those lightning rods? Would you accompany me for Would you accompany me for a moment? There's something I wish to investigate. Oh, gotta go down. What's up, Ra? Look there. The lightning appears to be drawn to those pole-shaped structures over yonder. The design suggests there's some manner of lightning rod. Let's go and take a closer look. Alright, but we need to be careful. This material appears to be the same as that used in the mechanical soldiers and warships. On closer inspection, it appears to bear fine etchings, rather reminiscent of arcane runes these. I suspect they're not merely decorative. I would posit it's used to harness lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive technology. I'll share this observation with Ishtola. For a blessing, the dome doesn't appear to interfere with link pearls. Thanks for accompanying me. Let's head to the village and find the others. God, I cannot get Graha's voice in my head properly. Oh, I hope it's not inside that tunnel and I gotta go all the way back. Nope, there it is. Good. Hmm. $300 to the north. Keep going. Whoa, that looks danger. Ooh. What in the world?
My home. It's in ruins. But why? What happened here? And where is everyone?
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Damn it all. None of this makes sense.
I mean, it kind of does.
Excuse me? Are you looking for someone?
That girl. I saw you during the attack.
I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows.
What is that
Sriracha
on your...
has told me a great deal about you.
Sriracha?
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria.
What is that on your chest?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Reason?
If you are the Queen of Reason, is there perhaps a...
King of Resolve.
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve, Zorulja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Then you are both behind the attack on Tulihiola.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception. No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight.
Then what's your deal, lady?
Rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I.
Oh?
It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
What is written on her clothes?
Our aid. I'll admit I cannot imagine King Zorolja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the queen.
once the sole ruler of Alexandria. Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it. A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
If I may, the dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yasulani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you come from? And what happened to the people who lived here? You must know.
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself.
Okay.
What I can say is that one day, people from your Tuliolol suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliolol. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barrier surrounding our realm.
Does this not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How, after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
I told you it was just overlapping dimensions.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope. In which case, a closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shatona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
That is true.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong.
Also true.
Besides...
You're right.
Queen Sphene, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tuliolol?
Noble Wook Lamart, shall we dispense with the formalities? I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zorolja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tuliolol.
So he alone is to blame.
I wouldn't say that.
No, I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
Yes, yes. The U.S. does have some responsibility for
No next
arms
time I
being
think
delivered
about
to
you,
other countries.
let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot from meeting more people.
Wonderful. If you would follow me.
I want to know what's written on her clothes. I'm gonna see. Oh. I take it there will be trouble if Zoralja hears of this.
Is that concern or suspicion?
Sweetie,
If things should take a turn for the worse, might I call upon your aid? I jest, of course. But you do strike me as the most capable here.
alright. Oh, excuse me. I think it goes without saying, but we're not going to trust her just like that, right? Any way you look at it, a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere proclaiming herself a queen is suspicious. I suppose that's true. Well, having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. So let's head to this place, the outskirts, and see what we can learn. Perhaps about Sphene as well. Must be nearby, right? "62 yams southwest." Ah, it's up there, isn't it? Yep, it sure is. Alright. I trust you're familiar with I trust you have similar farming facilities on Tural. They're completely different from ours. I've got no idea what all those machines do. We settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Turali have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing. But the environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electro what? Electrope. It's a material we use for myriad devices and applications. A topic for another time, perhaps. If you would follow me, we're nearly at to the outskirts. I mean, this looks like stuff I've seen before. Not Mare Lamentorum, but the moon. Not the moon. No, I guess in Mare Lamentorum as well. Let's see.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Queen's Fiend? What business brings her here, I wonder?
They've got thingies on their heads.
The Queen has come!
You look well, Paquine. And Catonia, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Lamachi.
Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
You do have that in common, don't you?
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve Wuklamart and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Rouclamont is still so young. Where are my manners? I am Popone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawautan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kafkiwa?
Kafkiwa? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Oh. Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
Oh?
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
I don't like your
Tell me, please,
tone.
where is she?
I don't like her tone!
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Pepone. After 30 years, no one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
We already explained that
Absurd though it
time
may
is...
sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoraljar's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Ah.
30 years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence.
But they have a way to stabilize that.
The same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
Wait. If they figured out a way to stabilize it, does that mean we could establish the connections to the other shards and have them be, like, stable?
I was able to make contact with Y'shtola not long ago via link pearl, so that shouldn't be cause for concern. And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the Source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sphene, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
Maybe. It's only been
Even if
30
I don't
years.
understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zoralja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
I see.
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
Alright. Don't want you getting in trouble, though.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine, and that's enough for me.
Yes, yes, we're coming, we're coming. Electrope has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. The people wanted to preserve their old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. You went to such lengths so that our cultures could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. And I'm sure there is much you wish to learn as well, so please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanations, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. Yupie's Hallow it is called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to Yupie's Hollow. Halo. Yupie's Halo. These names. Gotta learn these names. There's a gemstone trader here. I should probably change mounts too. A T-Rex hardly seems... Forecast terminal. Oh, okay. And don't forget the aetheryte. Anyway, a T-Rex hardly seems the correct mount for a place like this. So let's switch to something else. The Fenrir. The Regalia. Regalia is cool, I like it. But for a place like this, we've got... Augmented architecture. Yeah. Yeah, I think this will do. Okay, took my screenshot. $241 yams southwest, so that's nearby. I hope it's not up on the wall. Yeah, it's up on the wall. 95 yalms to the west. It's either on the wall or on the other side of the wall. Hey, some Ronique! Allow me to introduce you to Mahosa? One of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. Ugh. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. What is this on her hip here? Queen Sphene, to what do I owe this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, and so I invited them to see how our crops grow. I do hope that's all right. So the rumors of visitors from the outside were true. What manner of hosts would we be to deny them a look around? And I gather your majesty is also intent on checking things. Intended. Your majesty also intended to check on things here. Yeah, there we go. You know me too well, Mahosa. Mahosa. I don't know how to say her name. I thought to seize this opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions. Though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. 'Twould appear we have her permission, so please walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go ahead. I'll keep Sphene company. Don't misunderstand. I'm not the suspicious type, but given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? A fair point. But be sure not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Wooklat's watchful eye. Pray, come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. Light levels appear to be fine. As for the power source... You wish to know about my job? I tend to the fields mostly. Watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I fully understood how best to carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work. But honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. Oh, okay, so he's Alexandrian, so maybe I shouldn't have given him the accent. Oh, you know what? I should have guessed that from the name. Hinek's probably Yatsulani. Oh, an unfamiliar face. I gather this is your first time on site then. Well, this here's the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground, much more spacious, and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside, which also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electrope complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there, find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, but I'll not deny it. But I take great satisfaction in what we do. Well, that is nice. And they're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier, is that true? It sure is. So it is. Which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. But, setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at Yupie's Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job is a job. Well, I need to get back to it, but it was nice talking to you. Please give my regards to the Queen. Alright. Alright, Sphene. I see. Don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I gather you've had your fill of speaking with the farmers? Then let us return to Mahusa. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? I'm amazed. I was amazed that everyone seems to love their work. A curious observation. Do you not love your own work? Oh, but I jest. It's true that the people of the outskirts seem the most fulfilled. Always. They take to their duties with good cheer. And what did you think of our little tour, Lamati? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name, and I thought... No, no, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. That machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The feeling is understandable. Indeed, many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that had a strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy, and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. The system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. Yeah, sure. We could take care of it if you like. That is most gracious of you to offer, but it is much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble for the vow of resolve of Tuliolal. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. And Takara is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us long at all. Then, very well. I gratefully accept, but please take all care. Of course. This ought to go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting. Wow, that really is something. And now to seal your doom. One down. There's too much lightning in the water. Ah, you're both alright. Thank goodness. You really needn't worry so much. We barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guests. But thank you. We truly appreciate this. Indeed. With this, we won't have to ask Zeralja's machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing for our safety, unlike Queen Sveen. That's enough, Mahusa. If you have grievances, I will hear them later, but to speak of the king now... No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. The folk here are delightful, and it was a pleasure to meet them. I thought he joined... Didn't he join the guard? Wasn't he like captain of the guard and helped to defend people and stuff for a long time? You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. And you never failed to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sort, Sphene, I'll admit that. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. Oh, for you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now, I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Spooky. Spooky. Sphene would take you back to the outskirts. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. My thanks for helping dealing with those fiends. Come and visit us anytime. Oh yeah, I'm almost level 100 too. Shoot, I wonder what level I should be by the end of it. Do you hear that?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
It's nearly time for what, exactly?
I'm glad you could make it.
Are you with us? has.
Queen Sphene has come to see you. We're here,
It's
Namika.
her.
Everything is going to be all right.
It's Namika.
What's the matter, dear?
She's wearing the bracelet.
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Soul cells.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait! Where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
And I'm just gonna stay here? Everybody else leaves? But I get to stay and watch? Okay, there we go. Dakar, come on.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps.
Not the
Between
end,
what we
huh?
have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
Does that mean we can go to the rest of that shard, though?
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The
A
barrier
cataclysm
was
of lightning.
to isolate us from the surrounding land's innocuous influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphene's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder.
Okay.
Once you have
Suspicious.
been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoralja resides.
Solution 9, huh?
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoralja do as he pleases.
Unless this is all
But
part
we're
of
not
his
talking
ruse.
about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
Oh.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I am afraid I can say no more than that.
Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
I don't love how cryptic she's being, I'll be honest.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
Uh-oh.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
That must have been what the blinking light was about.
I know who she is. You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud.
Oh.
Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
People are stored in the cloud? Do we get to go to the cloud? What do they mean by the cloud? Is it literally the cloud? This is very spooky. What's going on? How could Pepone suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to the others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. Let's make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetherite. I don't think this is gonna go well. An old woman named Namika. I'm afraid I don't know that person. I'm sorry I couldn't be of help. What's that? Do I know a Namika? Never met anyone by that name, and I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If she spent time here, I would remember. I do recall caring for someone until recently, and you say that it was a woman named Namika. Well, I can't say for certain if it was her. I wouldn't worry. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. Are the robots Cybermen? Are they full of people's brain juices? Their cloud essence? Is that what's happening? Are they Cybermen? So it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of aether corresponding to the act, too, and I sensed none in that moment. Neither did I. But I did notice something else. Right before Pepone seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. But who might we ask about this? If we continue making such inquiries, I expect we would only cause confusion. Indeed. If we can't readily solve the mystery about Namika, perhaps we could search for Kahecua instead. Sven said to try the Thunder Yards. It should be in this direction. What is that? Impossible. Hmm? Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We'd better destroy it. Ah! Should we give chase? I think it understood our words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. Well, it went off in the direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. Perhaps that's her? Stealth mission? No, it must have seen me. You found it. Yeah, seems to be headed to the caves. To the northeast. Then it must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap, so let's not rush in too quickly. Yes, let's rush in slowly. I heard faint voices coming from inside. So it's not alone, but we're still going in, of course. And this may be a trap. Be ready to for a fight, everyone. There is an aether current in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Fairly obviously. Yenishani bat. Okay. I can hear them. Several people up ahead. I can't make out the conversation with the echoing. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard. Man, that piano is going crazy in the background music.
What is this? Ironville!
A trap?
It really is you!
It is her.
Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Eldersphere!
My darling, what now?
Oh yeah, none of the rest of our group know that that's his real name, huh? Mombot.
Good to see you, my fussy little bun-bun. But what are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Fussy little bun bun.
Why the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Galoo Jaja's kitten? I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. Eldersphere was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
say that I do, but you know my father?
I can't say that I do remember you.
Notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
Kafkiwa. I gotta practice that, Kafkiwa.
Oh, but this won't do. Come in, come in! Friends of my LNSP are always welcome.
Ah. Oh, she's a doting mom bot too, that's great. Well, she didn't know we were coming.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place. How are things still getting stranger?
Erinvol's mom is a robot. I think we're all caught up now. It's not that tough. It's not that deep. It's not that deep, Lamachi. As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. But, as to what's happened, we'll need to ask her. Obviously. Let's hear what she has to say. Why do I still have my... Or why do I have my umbrella out again? It's not like it's raining in here. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baltesian. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this? It's just a body that I control remotely. I use this for our operations. We're members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves. And our goal is to thwart Zoralja's ambitions for conquest. As the leader, it's prudent that I remain where I can't be easily found. I see. Whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are. Though, truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is... As I expect you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Then does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zoralja. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of you wear those strange devices on your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's, looks like a dual disc. It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electrope technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is to regulate the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells, and they can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls is a common resource, and payment for services rendered. That explains how Zoralia was able to... The Void Scent practice of consuming others, for their aether comes to mind, and similarly I expected that the act comes with some risk. Yeah, this is what I was talking about before, about the darkness and how you become a part of others. Doesn't it dilute your sense of self? Wouldn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? Wouldn't the consciousness of others corrupt your own? That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. That's why they deleted Namika's memories from everyone, so that when we use her soul, it doesn't stick. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence... The regulators are constantly recording the memories of their wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories relating to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. So this is what is meant by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators and an integral step in soul cell production. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. That's what they did in Terral. With the vacuums. They were sucking out souls. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. What does any of this have to do with lightning? Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. And this is why people are happy here. On its surface, it's similar to the Yakoi philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Well, it doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, this system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could, so that the nation could endure. By recycling souls using computers, basically. I guess that's what it has to do with lighting. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe the Turali would also accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. The people have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sphene didn't strike me as the sort of ruler to impose her will on others. Ah, so you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zoralja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Quite right. But however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you, and as luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. Who are we going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. So then, can the regulators be used to remove any memories? You can't die of old age, or they don't prevent you from dying of old age either, huh? And Zoralja's 30 years older. Than last time we saw him. Everyone here? Good. It is the responsibility of the Thunderyard's hunters to fell any fiends wandering around the area. We're to meet an acquaintance of mine, Strika, one of these hunters. Okay. It does make me wonder if there's not a way to undo this fusion. Or if the people here would even want that. It's been 30 years since they fused together. Some of the people here weren't even born yet. Well, forgetting about the despair is certainly one way to stop it. And they had to protect themselves from the calamity of lightning. Sooner or later, we were gonna find out about whatever shard happened due to the calamity of lightning. I hadn't thought about it. Kafkiwa, what are you doing here, and with so many friends? Apologies for the interruption, but I was hoping they might observe you at work. Hunting, you mean? That's fine, I guess. Hold on, I assumed that they were wearing special regulators like Queen Sphne's crown, but they aren't wearing anything at all. It's much too dangerous to be here without one. What if they're struck by lightning or attacked by beasts? I can assure you they're all quite capable of looking after themselves. If anything should go amiss, I will take full responsibility. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Danger aside, there isn't really much to see. Kashkiwa said you're a hunter, but wouldn't it be easier for those mechanical soldiers to guard this place? It would, if not for the fact that they're weak to lightning. The Thunder Yard being what it is, they've been ordered to steer clear. They're weak to lightning, huh? Good to know. Some good they are, eh? But these facilities are vital to the upkeeping of Alexandria's infrastructure, so it falls to hunters like me to deal with any fiends. Given the danger, we're well compensated for our work. It's a perfect profession for anyone looking to build up savings. The special selection of souls for hunters isn't terrible either. Special selection of souls? So when Zeralja went all Super Saiyan, that was because he used the special soul. Oh, and that boss in the Vanguard, when he did the snake soul thing. Does that mean they use beasts' soul? They can use beasts' souls? I brought this lot here to see this danger you speak of, if it's not too much trouble to ask. Oh, of course. In which case, it'd be a shame to waste my efforts on just any old beast. You all can handle yourselves in a fight, right? If you cause a ruckus slaying what critters you see nearby, there's a chance you'll draw out something worthy of a demonstration. What are her weapons? Is she a monk? I'm not sure I understand, but I suppose we should each slay what we can. Is this how Beastmaster is gonna work? We're gonna use the regulators and take the power from beasts' souls? That sounds more like Blue Mage still. Oh, we're almost at time, huh? Maybe I'll save this for later. Still got a moment. See if we can't finish this quest line, and then we'll do the cutscenes and call it a night. Let's zoom out so my visual flare doesn't blind me. Okay, that ought to do it. Time to see about this special soul. This one will do nicely. She is a monk. We'll help you. It's fine, really. I've faced worse. Just watch. I don't like the look of this. Let us help. Oh no! Look out! Ah! She did. Preserve. She needs healing. They already told us what was going to happen. She has one of those regulators. That was embarrassing. The bastard caught me off guard. Are you mad? Seriously, let us help. I told you not to worry. This will only take a moment. That's the same thing vipers do. Also begs the question, why didn't she start with that? Lead with that next time. Just like Zeralja. Come on, let's get out of here. That's also a function of the regulator. I mean, I guess. I think I understand now how Zoralja was able to return from the dead and defeat Papa, but I'm not sure what we saw at the end there. As soon as the regulator turned red, it was as if you were possessed. Your movements became beast-like. Don't tell me. You empowered yourself with the soul of a beast. I'm reminded of the Serpentine soldier who we encountered at Vanguard who did the same. So you've crossed paths with one of the King's elite. Such a form can only be achieved from gorging yourself on souls. We could do the same in theory, but it's incredibly dangerous. Besides, it's not as if they'd allow hunters to carry that many souls to begin with. Well, I should be getting back to work. Take care. Ah, I knew it. And there you have it. Regulators can be loaded with two kinds of souls, those of people and those of beasts. The souls of people can be used to grant the user preternatural strength. Naturally, they can also be used to ensure no one suffers an untimely death. And what about the souls of beasts? They work much in the same fashion, imbuing you with the strength of the chosen animal. If, for example, you used the soul of a wolf, you would grow more agile and feral, as you saw with Strika. Using several of the same type at once, however, would result in physical changes. Your teeth might become fangs, your nails claws, and too many and you'll become more beast than man. Changing one's form through the use of through the souls of other beings becomes more and more reminiscent of the Void Scent. Yet, unlike the Void, where the cycle of death and rebirth is simply broken, souls here are forcibly taken before they might reach the ethereal sea. Different means to achieve similar ends. A cycle to which all within the dome are bound. How are more people born if they don't have the ethereal sea thing? This is wrong. This is all wrong. It is indeed hard to accept, being so far removed from our own beliefs. Perhaps more shocking is that the technology to achieve all this was developed hundreds of years ago. The civilizations and the reflections are surprising indeed. It's Alligans. It's just Alligans from another dimension. Wait, does that mean there are Alligans in every dimension? Well, we have our own thoughts on souls. For now, the important thing is we know what power Zoralja has at his disposal. It's one thing to separate corporeal aether from incorporeal aether, But to strip memories from the soul entirely is unprecedented technology. This is no longer Tuliola's concern. With his... Oh, no longer only Tuliola's concern. With his newfound power, Zoralja has become a real threat to the entire world. Indeed, he has to be stopped, no matter the cost. I mean, it's gonna be... The cost is gonna be a lot of souls. You know? Okay, let's go back to Yasalani Station. So I can maintain my sweet, sweet rested XP buff. And yeah, we'll call it a night. This has been interesting and relevatory. And soon we'll be able to go to Solution 9 and see what that's all about. But that'll be it for now. I will be back later. Not sure exactly when, but Thursday at the very latest. To plow through as much more of the MSQ as I can. Okay, bye.